Hello, one and all. This is WellArmedWithTacos. Welcome back to Let's Play Neverwinter Nights. When we last left off, we were in the final act of the game, or at least I believe it's the final act, or at least I pray it's the final act. In the last set of videos, we crossed the threshold for this game's 2-year anniversary. That's right, we've been playing Neverwinter Nights for over 2 years on the channel now. And that is quite lovely, and by quite lovely I mean quite terrible, and it drives me mad. Last week, when I recorded the Deus Ex videos on Friday, which you may or may not have watched, I would appreciate if you'd watch them if you haven't already. I recorded those, as I said, on Friday, and not a day too soon, because immediately on Saturday, I became very ill. This is now Monday, as I'm recording this, to be uploaded later tonight, Monday night, so it can be up for you guys by Tuesday, as per normal, and I am feeling better-ish? Feeling better-ish? Mostly nasal issues, so I'm going to be sniffling about this video. I apologize for it, but at least I am bringing it up now, so you won't be surprised by it later. When we last left off in the game, we were talking to Nasher Allegandor, otherwise known as Lord Nasher, or Baron Nasher, I believe, as well. He is the ruler of the city of Neverwinter, and more than likely could handle this entire invasion on his own if he wanted to. But because this game needs to have a plot, he's not going to. That's fine. We had some questions for Nasher, and we stopped asking questions so we could end the video, but now that we're back, let us continue.
By some miracle, the city still stands, and Erin Gent clings to the hope we may yet survive. But I am older and wiser. I harbor no such illusions. That is why I have placed Gent in charge of the defense of the city. Let him handle the reports flooding in. I have no stomach for it anymore.
Questions?
After all you have done for the city, the least I can do is answer your questions. Although Gent probably knows more than I do.
What can you tell me about the words of power that were brought here earlier?
I've given them to Master Ford, Chief Archaeologist of Neverwinter. He seems to think there's some link between the words and the Source Stone. Initially, I hoped he could figure out how to unleash their power. But even as wise as Master Ford is, he hasn't been able to learn anything more about the words of power or the Source Stone.
Where can I find Master Ford?
Since we discovered the Source Stone in the secret chambers beneath Castle Never, Master Ford has spent all his time studying it. You can go speak to him to see what he's discovered if you wish, though you might have more luck getting information from that creature Hadraline if you can get her to talk.
More
Gent
questions?
can probably
I think
answer
we
your
asked this
questions
one last
better than
time.
but I'll help you if I can.
What's the latest news from the battle lines?
The reports are grim. In the initial assault, Luskan overwhelmed us with sheer numbers and the unbridled ferocity of their attack. The defenders were forced to fall back to the city core. Erebeth knew our defenses too well, never stood a chance. My troops are loyal, but against such odds, there's little hope. It's only a matter of time until Castle Never itself falls.
What if I could kill Erebeth and Maghrib?
It is too late for that, I fear. Our defenses are already broken. The damage has been done. If Erebeth and Mogrim were both slain, there is a chance it might break the spirits of the Luskan invaders. But I wouldn't count on it. The Luskans attacked with a rage and ferocity I have never seen before. Some sinister force drives our enemies forward. Or perhaps this is justice of a sort. Neverwinter may have brought this doom upon itself.
What do you mean?
The blood of Fenthic is on my hands. After the plague, the mob cried for blood, and I gave it to them. Fenthic was guilty only of trusting Desta. He was no enemy of Neverwinter. And yet I saw him hanged for failing to protect the city, as was his sworn duty. Can we really be so surprised Erebeth betrayed us after we executed her lover?
Fenthic's execution may have been wrong, but it does not excuse Erebeth's betrayal.
That is what I tell myself over and over, but the words are hollow to my own ears. I only wanted to do what was best for Neverwinter, to heal the wounds left by the Wailing Death. Yet even as I passed sentence on Fenthic, I knew in my heart it was wrong. This was not justice. Fenthic died to feed the city's lust for revenge. And now Neverwinter shall fall to an army that was raised to feed Erebeth's own vengeance. Perhaps that is justice.
Perhaps you can atone for what you have done.
I fear it is too late for that. Fenthic is dead and Erebeth... Perhaps if I were given the chance to pass judgment again, I would act differently, more mercifully. But I fear that chance shall never come. I must live with the burden of what I have done, as must my city. Neverwinter will fall. Gend can probably answer your questions better than I, but I'll help you if I can.
I'm interested in knowing more about you, Lord Nasher.
Once, I was an adventurer like you. Were the situation not so desperate, I would call upon the court bards to sing you tales of my exploits. But I am long since retired. I am ruler of Neverwinter now, and my life is one of administrative duties and the delegation of responsibility. Hardly the stirring stuff of legends. I miss those days of glory and heroism, but I gave them up to serve the city I love. Alas, my sacrifice was all in vain. Neverwinter will fall, and I can do nothing about it.
Just a moment. My apologies. I realized I left the ceiling fan on, so I decided to turn that off, wondering if it would cause any noise in the microphone. So, I should be going now.
Of course, of course. But before you go, maybe Gen...
And
I doubt
Gen
it will...
talk to Gen. Yep, we will. Speaking of Gen, let's talk to him now. Hi, Gen.
These are indeed dark times, though not so dark as Lord Nasher portrays them. The people of Neverwinter are made of sterner stuff than any of us imagine. But if Neverwinter is to survive, we must all play our part. My place is here by Lord Nasher's side. I must oversee every aspect of the defense of the city. And your own part is one you know all too well. You must save Neverwinter once more, though how you might accomplish this I cannot say. Perhaps the creature Hadriline knows something of this.
I want to ask you some questions.
I once knew every secret in this city, but these are turbulent times, and even I am left stumbling in the dark. Yet, I will tell you whatever I can.
What can you tell me of Hadriline?
She arrived here shortly after the third word of power was delivered to Castle Never. Lord Nasher suspected she was a spy, and had her imprisoned in the dungeons. After Erebeth's betrayal, he has grown overly cautious, and I fear it has made Hadriline mistrustful of us. She did tell us about the Source Stone beneath the castle, but nothing beyond that. Maybe you could try speaking to her. She trusts you, and I sense there's something important she's not telling us about the words of power and that Source Stone.
Can you let Hadriline out of the dungeon?
Lord Nasher would never consent to that, I'm afraid. Not while we are besieged by a hostile army. I doubt it would help in any case. She does not trust us, plain and simple. Perhaps because of Erebeth's actions, Hadriline fears everyone from Neverwinter is corruptible.
I'd like to ask you something else.
I'll do my best to help you.
What can you tell me about the words of power?
Lord Nasher gave them to Master Ford, chief archaeologist of Neverwinter. He believes there is a link between the words and the Source Stone. But Master Ford has not been able to learn anything more about the words of power or the Source Stone, unfortunately. I'll do my best to help you.
What can you tell me what's the news from the battle lines?
Things have calmed since the initial onslaught. The defenders fell back to the city core, but I do not know how long we will be able to hold it. We are badly outnumbered, and Erebeth knew every inch of this city. All her knowledge is being used against us now.
Is there no one that will come to our aid?
Reinforcements from the Lord's Alliance are on their way, but I do not know if we can hold out until they get here.
What if I could kill Arbeth and Mogram?
I doubt it would help. Erebeth has likely shared our every weakness with all her generals by now. If Mogram were killed, it might break the enemy's spirit. Though in truth that also seems unlikely. Normally Luskan forces are but cowards and raiders. They hit and run. This time, however, something is different. Some sinister force drives our enemies forward. And there is a pall lingering in the air. A dark cloud hanging over all the defenders and driving them to despair.
What do you mean?
Surely you must feel it. There is a shadow over Neverwinter. A curse that drags down morale and inspires our enemy. Perhaps on some level, the people of Neverwinter feel they deserve to suffer. I know Lord Nasher feels such guilt at least, for what happened to Fenthik.
Perhaps he can atone for what he has done.
For all our sakes, I hope he is given that chance. Is there something else I might do for you?
I should be going now.
You should speak to Hadriline before you go. Maybe she will tell you something about the Source Stone or the Words of Power. My instincts tell me that she is the key if Neverwinter is to be saved. And I have learned to trust my instincts.
I'm sure. But first, we're going to talk to Linyu.
Hey there, dear. What can I do for you?
I'd like you to level up. Oh, okay. Linyu, level up. The goddess has blessed me with more spells and skills. Give me a moment to rest, and I will be more capable than ever of assisting you. Linyu, you died and became a new Linyu.
Hey there, dear. What can I do for you?
Interesting. I wanted to talk to her about dialogue stuff, but I guess not. We have castle dungeons, and I don't even know what. More castle, I guess. Let's search through more castle. I'm honestly surprised we didn't have a straight 20 minutes of dialogue there. Take all of Lord Nasher's valuables. We got another copy of Linyu's token. Presumably removed and reinserted into our inventory when the chapter started. 88 gold. A potion of lore. Neat. We have Neverwinter Castle guards, a nurse, and presumably the way out. And a table. Cushion cure critical. Alright, let's go into the dungeons. Talk to Hadriline and Master Ford. Jail guard.
Good day.
This here's the prison, and it's for prisoners, see? You'd best be speaking to me if you want to speak to them. Lord Nasher sent me to interrogate the prisoner. Oh, you must be that one that Nasher sent down. Go on in, sir. I guess I can open that door whenever I want to now. If we go down there, we can talk to Ford. 44 gold. Lord Nasher must think this guy is pretty special to defend the jail all by his lonesome. Can I open this? I can!
I have been waiting for you. These other warm bloods are weak. I do not trust them. They are weak. like the ones you call Arabeth and Mogrim. They cannot stand against the creators, now that Morag stirs within the Source Stone. Mogrim has unlocked the magic of the words of power. The Old Ones awake, and the world you know shall be no more.
What are you doing in this prison?
I came to warn your people of Morag's return, but the Warmbloods do not trust me. They cast me into this dungeon. 3 of the words are here in this castle. But there are 4 words of power in all. Mogrim has the other. Do not waste time trying to free me from this prison. It serves no purpose. Instead, you must help me stop Morag's return before the Old Ones awake and I am made a word slave once more.
What must I do?
The 4th word is close. I can feel its power. Mogrim and Arabeth brought it here to this city you call Neverwinter. Bring the word to me. I am Hydraline, leader of the word slaves. With the final word, I can break Morag's power and trap her forever inside the Source Stone.
I want to ask you some questions.
You're kinder ever curious. A curse of your warm blood, perhaps. Our time grows short, but I will answer your questions.
Tell me about Mogrim.
Mogrim is nothing but a foolish pawn. Morag twists and warps his mind, and in the end she will destroy him. My queen has promised him power. But when the Old Ones awake, he will be enslaved with the rest of the lesser races. You're kinder ever curious.
Let's ask about Arabeth.
Curse of the one you call Arabeth has fallen under Morag's spell. Some terrible fate left her vulnerable to Morag's corrupting evil. My queen touched her mind through her dreams, feeding a dark and festering hatred until it consumed all else. Arabeth is a slave to Morag's evil now. You're kinder ever
Tell me
curious.
about Morag and the Old Ones.
Long ago, when even the elves were young, the world was hot and jungle covered this frozen waste. This was the time of my people, the creator race, the Old Ones. The Old Ones enslaved the lesser races, and all bowed to us. And the terrible power of Morag, our queen. But then the long winter came. To survive, Morag placed her people into a deep hibernation within the Source Stone, to await the day they might rise and reclaim what was once theirs. You're kinder ever curious.
Tell me about the words of power in the Source Stone.
Morag created the Source Stone with the power of the words, capturing the essence of fire within the gem, even as the world began to grow cold around her people. Morag placed her people in a deep hibernation within the Source Stone's core. In her slumber, the Queen's power grew, so one day she might use the words to rise again and banish the endless winter. If Morag fully awakes, the true power of the Source Stone will be unleashed. This land of ice will become steaming jungle, and the Old Ones will return to enslave the lesser races, as they did at the dawn of time.
I will return once I have the final word of power.
You must hurry. With each passing hour, Morag's power grows. Soon, I will not be strong enough to stop my queen from awakening her people.
Well, don't worry. We have plenty of time. This game is event-driven. Thank you all for watching. This is WellArmedWithTacos saving and signing off. And when we come back, more Neverwinter Nights. It's really hot in here right now. It feels like a steaming jungle. I'll see you all later. This is WellArmedWithTacos signing off. Take care and bye-bye.